You need specifically more crosshair placement drills using Yoru clones and figuring out where your map knowledge is. One of the things I used to do when learning a new map was I would go around the map and I would make sure that I was at head level all the way through. And I would just run through it. I'm like, this is head level here, right? So as I'm running through, I'm just making sure that I'm at head level for every single angle that I'm fighting, okay? And I can confirm that by just going Yoru, and then I would end game phase, and then I would just go like this and just make sure. There we go. So now I'm like, okay, head level here, cool, head level here, awesome, right? So as I'm going around, if I'm not really sure, I'd be like, okay, I'm not really sure about the head level on this angle, for example. Let me take a look. Oh, head level's right here. Okay, cool. And as it goes down the stairs, it starts going this way. Cool. Let's watch this one. So I want to make sure that the head level that I know of for this angle here, what is it? Okay, cool. It's right here. Awesome. So now when I'm coming around the corner, I know how to take this fight. So I'm coming around here, confirm it. What's the head level here? Let me just make sure. Okay, because this is a fight that I commonly get. So if I got this right here, okay, cool. This is the head level now. Right, perfect. And I can move around the corner. So now I know for this platform where I need to aim. And I got the muscle memory down. So it's like in between these two words as I'm coming around here on this angle, right? So you got to do this on every single map, right? And if you run around the map, you can just do it with a pistol, so it's faster. You're like, I know the relative area of where the head's going to be for all these fights. And I'm just going to trace the entire map until I get the muscle memory down. Run around a few times. Change of elevation right here. So this is going to be head level right around here, I think. Let me just confirm that. And for that fight, I am pretty well spot on. If you have problems with that, you need to put the work in, right? When it comes to movement, learning how to move in and out from cover, understanding how long it takes for you to stand still properly when you have a full strafe versus a short strafe, right? How long does it take for you to have that accuracy so you don't have blue lines? That's all you really got to do. So go into the range, put a sage wall up, peek in and out from bots and make sure that your lines are all yellow. And then go into deathmatch and put more reps in. First thing that I'm looking at in deathmatch is our crosshair placement, still quite low. And I've noticed that a couple times where you do this U shape upwards. Have you ever noticed that in your own gameplay? If you go like slow with it, you'll notice you'll do this little U shape thing. That means that you're too low. Crosshair. Yeah, you do like you shoot and you pull upwards kind of thing. This one's okay. So you did it there actually naturally. Watch when we go slow. Yeah. It's almost like you built the habit to do this thing where you shoot upwards. So you've built up a habit sort of thing. So I want you to be aware of it. Hold your crosshair slightly higher than you think, right? And then if anything, you're pulling downward, but you really don't even have to. So you're still a little bit low. Not too bad though. Notice that? Your brain is telling you in an unconfident state that you are not cool with shooting the head. You're pulling down to the bigger target. Your brain says this is a safe target. This is what's going to get me a hit for sure. So you pull downward. I want you to overcompensate and aim higher than the head. Okay? I want you to aim at the forehead. That's what I felt as noticed. I've noticed that's helped quite a bit with a lot of my students. And literally your mouse movement is left to right. That's how you know you're in a good spot. And you could feel this out as you're going around the map. Literally have a ton of people I've coached. I've had them just move around the map and just have their crosshair at the head level. And they can confirm with Yoru clones. So I know that you've watched my deathmatch video because you've been kind of mimicking what we're doing here to a degree, which is good. It's going to lead you to the right track. So even another example of just being able to shoot people who just crouch at you. It's like, yeah. I got people in the comments have the audacity saying, oh, this doesn't work in APAC because their aim is just too good. It's like, bro, you're coping. You're freaking coping. It's like ridiculous. Yeah. But you're on the right track with all this stuff. I think you keep going with it, but I want you to aim fractionally higher than what you think the head is. Because right now you're currently aiming towards the neck, or you'll pull down towards the neck whenever you get nervous. If you want to learn how to play Valorant properly, you have to start scrimming the game. Well, what if you don't have a team? The best way to do it then is through our Coach 10-Man program. In our program, we give you detailed map guides, tips, strategies, live feedback coaching, and VOD review coaching, all for an extremely affordable price. Check out our Patreon Master Coaching today.
No one hit back.
Oh, fucking hell!
You're in the open now. Where is the most likely position for your protection and safety?
To the left.
Yeah, that's where you're playing. Whenever you're playing on defense or an attack, it doesn't really matter. You always want to have natural cover around you. As Jett and as Reyna, we get away with a lot more positions because you have the dashing and get you out of positions that are hairy. But once you lose that dash, you gotta play like anyone else. And the walls itself are your saving grace. So no matter where you're playing, let's say you're defending A, you have this natural cover, okay? If you're playing over here, you have this natural cover. You can play around it, right? If this is a problem, but this is not, take this away, for example, this is now your natural cover to be able to fight around here. I always have this spot, this wall that I can hug to back off if I need to. It has nothing to do with how close we are to the wall. That's a whole other conversation. What I'm talking about is you have the ability to pick and choose fights versus if I'm over here in the open and someone were to swing me here, I have no option. I have to fight. I'm now forced in that position because the amount of time it takes for me to go to here to get to this cover, way too long, I'm dead. And the amount of time it takes for me to go to this cover, way too long, I'm dead. On top of that, probably dead from an angle here as well. So you got to pick and choose your angles. In the situation that you gave me here, you ran out into what we call a one and done angle. The one and done angle means you're going to kill one person, and if they're swinging with multiple, which they should, from this position here, you would die. You would get one, maybe if you're lucky, and then the second one would clean you up, which is not a terrible position sometimes. However, when you ran over to this position, you're now in the open, exposed to this, this, and this. 3 angles right away, okay? So what do? You have to naturally fall to wherever cover is. You got to this position, and then you decided to swing out into the open more. The only way you keep yourself alive a little bit longer in this situation is backing off to this corner. You're trying to keep yourself alive a little bit longer because all that you're trying to do is bring time down on the bomb. Once that thing goes down to sub 7 seconds, you win. In order to do that, you gotta stay alive and become a threat. If you put yourself out into the open, you give that gift away. And that's exactly what we're seeing here when you fall back into this position right over here.
Oh, fucking
Regardless
hell.
of how you die, it's all the same. There's lots of ways that you can deal with this. For example, one of the things that you have not done is pull your knives out. I'm not saying that's the situation that you need to do it right now, but updraft. Easy kill there. That's one way of dealing with it, but you have to have the awareness of you looking at the minimap. Like right now, for example, you can see that the ISO's right here. You can see that the ISO is falling back behind cover right here. You can fall back behind the wall, pop knives, updraft up, and take that fight if you wanted to. Nothing wrong with that, right? But you have to have that in your mind. Now, when you go to fight here, you disregard this potential threat. So it's good for this fight, but you didn't clear this one first. So we tunnel visioned on a potential fight on this spot here. Now, what would have been good is if you had updraft knives, for example. Just to throw it out there as a potential play. This probably wouldn't have been a threat because they're aiming at your head level here. But if you updraft over this corner and knife this angle, I guarantee you this person's flicking you. They're not priming their peak or holding their crosshair placement on a spot where you're going to be updrafting. They're not going to be ready for that. So that gives you more time on the angle like that. The other thing you should consider is an elevation in peaking. So you don't have to necessarily use knives, pop knives, and updraft. You can also go like this, peek further back. This changes the head level, okay? Changes the head level for them as well. If you think about it from their perspective when they're taking this fight, they have so many angles that you can peek them from. So they have this head level here, they have this head level here, right? So you got to make them move. The goal is to make the opponent move their crosshair, so they have to adjust, and then they miss their shot.